Chapter 11. Lunch with Rod. It was a wet morning. The rain poured down. Daniela had cycled to work and had planned to cycle to the restaurant to meet Rod, but now realized she was arriving a mess. She decided to get there early so that she could tidy herself in the cloakroom before Rod arrived. By the time he did turn up, 10 minutes late, she was feeling calm. She had already had a martini to calm her nerves, and she ordered Rod an orange juice at his request. They were sat and looked at each other across the table for a few seconds before Fenella spoke. "I must say that I'm very sorry I've not been at school these last few weeks," she began, wanted to get the subject out of the way quickly. "Ellie has missed you a lot. You really helped her settle in, and she's being taken back a few steps by the temporary teacher. Doesn't seem to have your patience." Rod smiled sadly. "It's been a difficult time for me too," he said. "It's the last thing I want to do for Ellie or for any other children. But schools are required to follow procedures in cases like this. It's to protect children." "Yes, I know," said Fenella. "It isn't protecting them if you didn't do anything wrong. It's doing them more harm than good." "Well, hopefully once there's been a court hearing." "I'll be back," said Rod. Fenella smiled. "I'm sure you will," she said. "Most of the parents abandon you." Rod smiled again, appreciatively. "I hope you're alright," he said. It was the first contact he had with any of the parents since his suspension, and he suddenly realized what an enormous it was to be able to mention the subject. In his mind, everyone had turned against him. Reality was clearly quite different. Fenella, aware of the sensitivity of the issue and action to move on from the subject, went on. "Now, I need to discover it. I liked them very much and believed they could do well. Have you thought of illustrations, though?" "I hadn't got that far," said Rod. "I think they could work well as picture books," went on Fenella, for the slightly older child was beginning to read independently. "But we'll need to adjust the length of some of them, and one or two hard details, if they are to appeal to an international market." Rod could hardly believe his ears. International market. Illustrations. It was sounded so much grander than he'd imagined. He felt hugely grateful to Fenella for having so much faith in him, but there was still a worrying doubt at the back of his mind. If he was found guilty of hunting down, if the authority went against him, surely Fenella or her publishers wouldn't want to take him on as children's author. He would be seen as a corrupting influence. It wouldn't do their sales any good at all to have their name connected to a child abuser. At that moment, the waiter arrived with their food. They ate in silence for a few minutes, looking at Rod, wondering what was going on in his mind. It suddenly seemed very quiet, and she wondered if she'd said something to upset him. Perhaps he didn't like the idea of having to change his stories. Some of us never wanted to alter any of their precious work, even if their editors knew it would help to sell books. "Are you alright?" she said at last, unable to bear the silence any longer. Rod glanced up at her. He sat back at his chair and took a deep breath. "Look," he said, "all this is very exciting for me. The thought of having my stories published, of becoming children's author. To tell you the truth, is one of my lifetime ambitions. But I can't help feeling perhaps this isn't a good time to be attempting it. You know, my name could be mud in a few weeks. You might regret taking me on. Fenella put a knife and fork down, looked at the handsome, sensitive face across the table. Goodness, how he might heart race. She would like to lean across and kiss him then and there. His deep, dark eyes looked in hers, as if desperate for some reassurance, and seemed to hint at an equally deep soul. She couldn't have felt more certain that this man would be the last man on earth to her silly boy, however nice he might be. As far as they're concerned, there's no question about your innocence, she burst out. I trust my feelings about people. It's how I knew Ellie would be the right child for me. It's how I knew you'd be the right teacher for her. It's how I know you're the right man for me, she continued silently. She looked into his eyes, hoping she hadn't revealed too much already. That's really sweet of you, said Rod, looking back at Daniela's intense, angry face across the table and feeling, as he had once before, that he'd like to know her better. She must be incredibly strong, he reflected, to have taken on a child on her own. Now she was revealing further strength for belief in him as a teacher and a writer.